My heart hammered a frantic tattoo against my ribs, instantly banishing the remnants of sleep. It was 3:14 a.m., the green glow of the clock accusing in the darkness. A primal fear, cold and sharp, clawed its way up my throat. This wasn't a late-night delivery or a drunken neighbor. I wasn't alone. Lily, my 6-year-old daughter, slept soundly in the room next door. With trembling fingers, I fumbled for my phone, the screen a harsh beacon in the darkness. The dial tone seemed to mock my fear as I punched in the emergency numbers. Police department, this is Officer Miller. My voice, when I finally spoke, was a choked whisper, barely audible even to my own ears. There's someone at my door, please, come quickly. The wail of sirens ripped through the pre-dawn stillness, a comforting counterpoint to the frantic drumming in my chest. Two figures materialized from the flashing red and blue lights, Officer Miller, the young woman with tired eyes that spoke of too many sleepless nights, and a grizzled veteran with a reassuring bulk and a kind, weathered face. They shouldered their way through the door, the metallic snap of holstered pistols a tangible presence in the tense air. The veteran reached for the light switch, but Officer Miller stopped him. "No," she said. "Let's use the flashlights." The veteran nodded in understanding. I watched, a shaky sentinel, as they moved with practiced efficiency. Every cupboard was opened, its contents illuminated for a fleeting moment before being deemed harmless. The creaking floorboards under their boots seemed to echo my own racing heartbeat. "Kitchen's clear," the veteran announced, his voice gruff but steady. "Back door's secure too." Relief, tinged with a chilling unease, trickled through me. Maybe it was just a prank, some neighborhood kids with nothing better to do at 3 a.m. But the unsettling silence that followed their pronouncement felt heavier somehow. "Windows?" Officer Miller asked, her voice a low murmur. The veteran grunted in agreement, his flashlight beam scanning every inch of the dusty window panes. He reached for the handle, a slow, deliberate movement. A collective breath hitched in our throats as the window creaked open. Officer Miller swept the beam of her flashlight outside, illuminating the empty backyard and the sagging swing set where Lily spent countless sunny afternoons. "Nothing here, ma'am," the veteran stated, holstering his weapon. Seems like a false alarm. His words should have brought complete relief, but a strange hollowness settled in my stomach. The absence of an explanation felt heavier than the unsettling knock itself. "Who disappears after announcing their presence on your doorstep in the dead of night?" The officers ushered me back to bed, their reassuring presence lingering for a moment before they too faded into the night. But sleep wouldn't come. The insistent knocking echoed in my mind, a hollow drumbeat against the backdrop of my fear. As dawn painted the horizon with streaks of pale pink and orange, I knew this was just the beginning. Days bled into weeks, each one a fragile truce with the terror that had invaded our home. Lily, oblivious to the storm brewing within me, started having nightmares. Her once peaceful slumber was punctuated by whimpers. I'd hold her close, whispering reassurances that felt hollow even to my own ears. The fear, a cold serpent coiling around my heart, threatened to squeeze the life out of our fragile normalcy. Then came the whispers. The first night, they were faint, like a forgotten melody drifting through a dream. A raspy voice, barely audible, seemed to weave through the floorboards, a chilling counterpoint to the rhythmic rise and fall of Lily's breaths. I dismissed it as a trick of the mind, a manifestation of my anxieties. But the whispers returned. Night after night, they grew stronger, more insistent. They slithered through the dead of night, weaving through the air like a venomous snake. "Let me in," they rasped, the voice a guttural plea that sent shivers down my spine. I started leaving lights on in every room, a pathetic attempt to ward off the shadows lurking in the corners. Yet, the whispers seemed to grow bolder with each passing night. One particularly harrowing night, Lily bolted upright in bed, her eyes wide with terror. "Mommy," she shrieked, her voice cracking with fear. "There's a voice in the wall." Tears streamed down her face, reflecting the terror I felt clawing its way up my throat. I held her close, rocking her gently, whispering reassurances I no longer believed. In that moment, the fragility of our lives, the sheer vulnerability of a mother and child facing an unseen horror, hit me with a force that left me breathless. Sleep deprivation had etched dark circles under my eyes, and Lily's once vibrant spirit was dimming under the weight of unseen fear. I couldn't let this continue. I called Officer Miller again, my voice hoarse from lack of sleep and choked with a newfound urgency. She listened patiently, her tired voice a beacon of hope in the storm of terror. This time, her response was different. "We'll set up a stakeout," she declared, a resolute edge to her voice. "We can't let this go on any longer." The idea of someone watching the house, a guardian against the unseen, brought a flicker of comfort. Sleep, however, remained elusive. The night of the stakeout arrived, draped in an oppressive cloak of anticipation. Lily spent the night at my brother's, his house a fortress against the whispers that seemed to emanate from the very walls of our home. Alone, I sat in a dimly lit corner, the house creaking and groaning around me. Every rustle of leaves outside the window sent my heart into a frenzy. Hours crawled by, punctuated by the insistent chirping of crickets outside. Doubt, a persistent serpent, began to coil around my heart. Maybe it was all in my head, a manifestation of frayed nerves. Just as the oppressive silence threatened to consume me, a flicker of movement outside the window caught my eye. My breath hitched. In the pale moonlight, a figure materialized from the shadows. Tall and gaunt, it stood motionless, its gaze fixed on the house. A jolt of primal fear coursed through me, momentarily paralyzing me. But then, I remembered Lily, her tear-streaked face, the fear that haunted her dreams. Instinct took over. Reaching for the phone, I dialed the pre-programmed number Officer Miller had given me. My hand trembled as I spoke, a single whispered word, "He's here." Static crackled from the phone, then a voice, tense with urgency, cut through the silence. "We see him. Stay inside, we're coming in." Relief washed over me, sweet and potent, dispelling the fear that had gripped me for weeks. The front door shattered with a deafening boom, followed by the pounding of boots on the wooden floor. I huddled in the corner, tears streaming down my face, a mixture of terror and relief. In that moment, the house, once a symbol of fear, felt safe again. The whispers, like a malevolent spirit banished by the light, finally ceased. As the officers emerged from the darkness, a figure in handcuffs stumbling between them, I knew the nightmare was finally over. The house, bathed in the warm glow of the morning sun, was no longer a prison. It was home again. The days following the arrest were a whirlwind of activity. Police swarmed our house, meticulously searching for evidence. They found voice recorder that played the chilling whispers at night. As the investigation progressed, a disturbing picture emerged. Our next-door neighbor, Mr. Johnson, had been meticulously planning his twisted scheme for years. He had installed the cameras and recording devices to spy on us, and he had used the voice recorder to create the illusion of a haunting. His motives were simple: greed and envy. He had always coveted our house, and he believed that by driving us out, he could buy it for a fraction of its value. The whispers were gone, and the fear that had gripped us for so long had finally dissipated. The house, once a symbol of fear, was now a symbol of hope. It was a place where we could finally feel safe and secure. We had made it through the darkness, and we had emerged stronger on the other side.